Hey everyone, I just jumped on here to share this thought because sometimes once it goes in and you don't write it down, it kind of just goes somewhere else. I'm reading the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, also known to some as Hermes Trismegistus or Thrice Born. And I bought this book a long time ago and I just got a call to start reading it. And throughout the book, it's interesting because he keeps saying over and over again, look into the light, look into the light, look into the light. And it seems like basically he's referring to the sun, the actual sun. You could think of it as the spiritual sun. But I've been hearing some people are engaging in sungazing and just staring at the sun. And it's funny because when you start your awakening journey, you basically realize that everything you were told is wrong and you were lied to about everything. So what's one of the things we were told? Don't look at the sun. Don't look at the sun. You'll go blind. Sure. During an eclipse, maybe. Who knows? Like, I'm sure there's scientists that would pop on here and tell. My dad's an eye doctor. I'm sure he would tell me not to look in the sun and I will go blind. But today, it's a beautiful day outside. I was reading outside and I intentionally started looking at the sun for I can only do a couple seconds because it is really intense. And what I want to say about this book is that I bought it a long time ago and I started, trying to read it a little bit and it was just kind of not landing. I couldn't get a grip on it. And it's nothing, the language isn't difficult. And there's even translations on the side to break it down into more simple terms. But I don't know, I just couldn't get a grasp. I didn't grasp it. I didn't want to hold on to it. So today and then I started reading it again and it was still kind of going in one ear out the other a little bit, not landing. And then I did some sun gazing. And this is kind of interesting because after I did the very short sessions of sun gazing, things are landing now. And I've had it just makes complete sense to me now. And that's pretty cool. And recently I've been really contemplating polarity and duality, contemplating because I don't know if anyone's into astrology, but my birth chart contains so many oppositions and squares and so many things kind of at odds and war with each other per se, that requires balance and alchemy, which has shown up in my life as a lot of things are more difficult than they should be for me. And that's on purpose. It's to further my soul growth, and life is full of lessons, right? In this earth plane we're in, we are here to learn what we need to learn and then go back to the light and come again, be reborn again through that light to continue the journey to the perfection of the light. And I actually don't have, it's funny too, because before I started looking into the sun today, my contacts weren't working, my glasses weren't working, one of my glasses broke, and so now I'm just not wanting to wear any glasses and just use my normal eyes, which is weird, because normally I feel like I'm blind without them. So again, I've been really contemplating the polarity that exists within myself, above, below. The macrocosm is the microcosm, and the mesocosm, which Rick Levine's been talking about a lot. But what I like to think of it is the macrocosm and the microcosm all exist in this ether. You could call it expanding consciousness. The way that I view our reality is that you could describe it. This was a download I got 14 years ago, and it was a very intense download. And since then, quantum physics has proven that. So, not to toot my own horn, but it's just really cool how this stuff, spiritual stuff, works. If you only have the, wisdom to trust yourself. Which that's a big lesson for all of us right now in the age of over information. We're being bombarded. We really need to practice discernment and learn how to trust ourselves. What is our voice? What is not our energy? So the nature of reality, you could think of, it exists. Maybe the first spark of creation was the first thought, the first word that spoke creation into existence. It came out of the deep void of basically nothingness, of potential, the void of potential. You could call the void infinite darkness of infinite potentials. And the consciousness unveils it, brings it forth. And what I was told through this just download of instant knowing was that first I was told that thoughts become things, and it's actually a techno song, but it's actually, that's true. Thoughts become things, and the way our universe and our reality is expanded. So humans are the mode at which consciousness expands, and our reality expands, the universe expands. Because each thought, each person, given free will, has their free will. They have their free will to think and choose thoughts and actions. And if you believe in the string theory and quantum mechanics, quantum physics, the quantum realm, basically all of these things are branching off into realities. But you go as above, so below. The inner, it's all, so I don't know if you're following, but you could also think of the universe being totally contained in a way. It's contained yet uncontained. So I believe everything, the way it was shown to me, is like an egg. That's our, the container that we're all in right now. And time is not linear, but I believe time is layered, or there's different dimensions and layers of time. So you can really connect to any point in time, past, present, future. And I'm not exactly sure how these layers are their dimensions. I'm not sure how it exactly works, but that's the general gist. And all of these things are contained within an egg and layers, and there's different connection points all throughout this gigantic egg. And I suppose the egg, as consciousness, the egg is the universe, and as consciousness develops, or at least our universe, I don't know if there's universes outside of the universes, probably there's infinite universes. So as we as humans fumble around in this reality, making decisions, making choices, exercising free will, our thoughts, we are creating so much. Every single thing, every little thing is creating something new. But to create, so this is the insight this is the other layer that came in just about 10, 15 minutes ago that I just had to jump on here and share, looking like crazy barbarian lady a little bit, but that's where we all came from. Barbarians wandering the desert until Thoth came, and with his scepter of wisdom brought on the science magic, as he says, which is funny because today, science magic, we think of magic as just not yet to be explained by science. And now science is going back and saying that science is basically magic. So, it was funny. Anyway, the download I had that was very interesting and added the extra layer. Here it says, this is what sparked it. It says, man supports himself only on that which exists. Oh, sorry. Man supports, I need my glasses after all. Man supports himself only on that which resists. So earth must resist man, else he existeth not. So here I take this, to mean, so we as humans, like I said, we're fumbling around, we're making choices, we're navigating our paths, and that friction, the polarity is so important. That's why there is polarity. I was like, why do we have so much polarity? Because the polarity creates this tension. And I know the tension because I live in it all the time. It's always a battle. Power versus, for, like, you feel forces and the powers within those forces, and it's by not trying to dominate with force, it's creating from that tension. However, it's necessary to this duality, the polarity, the rub, which we could think of as triggers, things that upset us, things that cause us pain and suffering. That's an invitation. That's a lens to that friction point, that rub. And from that friction point, that tension, you are invited to alchemize, to bridge the two, to create harmony out of disorder. And the whole goal of Thoth, and what I believe is, and if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, these many, many, many cycles of life we have here in this reality, we're continually going through this strife, this suffering, to expand consciousness, expand creation, and reach ultimate perfection, divine harmony, divine order, which therein we would reach something that we couldn't even imagine. I can't even imagine what that ultimate perfection would be, but it would be, I think divine perfection is just complete wholeness and oneness. It's just oneness. That's the most I could explain or even comprehend. Our human brains are not equipped to comprehend that level. They would explode, literally, like a cartoon. And it's interesting, I often was finding myself kind of forcing knowledge on people, and even my kids. Sometimes I'm like, go on these very advanced lectures, and my son is very intelligent. My kids are really smart. My son is like, Mom, stop with the lectures. No more lectures, no more talking. And I'm like, okay. And I heard this wise woman named Baba Yaga, I believe. I don't know who that is, but she said something to the extent where wisdom, like too much wisdom too young ages a soul or ages you. So that was kind of like a little check to be like, and also for myself too, because I am a lifelong seeker of the truth, much like Hermes, Thoth, which is funny because I'm a Gemini and ruled by Mercury, which is related to Hermes Trismegistus and Thoth. And also, sorry, that's my dog. Mercury is the twins, which everyone thinks it's like two faces, but really the twins, the way I believe, are the duality. And also one of the biggest dualities is the divine, the immortal, and the mortal, the infinite and the finite. And something, us as humans, we struggle with is we are infinite beings contained in a finite form, our bodies. And limitation is something I kind of rage against a lot, because if you have a deep knowing of the infinite, all of everything and the potential, you look around and you're like, paying your taxes, going to work, going to the grocery store. It feels so boring and so mundane. But that's a challenge too. That's an invitation. That's an invitation to as above, so below. The mundane world is not less than the spiritual world, because again, if we go back to the ultimate goal of perfection would be oneness. So in essence, the essence of it is that nothing is separate. We are not separate from each other. We are not separate from God or the divine. Our ordinary lives are not separate from the great spiritual work that is unfolding, and it is unfolding because of our ordinary lives. So without our ordinary lives, whatever the gods up there are, whatever the divine plan is, it is so infinite. Again, cannot even fathom what that would be. But without our humanness and our divinity, without the tension, the polarity, our reality would not exist. We are, this polarity, the duality, is the structure of the universe that we live in. So I guess you could go another step further here, and another invitation would be to question, what am I bringing to this structure? If we're all creating all these webs, infinite webs, into an ether, a container, an egg, the cosmic egg, what thread are you contributing? I hope that we can all contribute a golden thread, because there's dark threads, there's dark webs that we could get caught in. Thoth says to seek the light, to always look towards the light. Do not look at the darkness. And he doesn't mean darkness is death or the underworld. I'm not really sure exactly. I mean, I think darkness is evil. So to look towards the light. And I feel, I keep seeing the visual of the golden threads, and the golden threads threading upwards towards the ultimate light source. So that's what I have. Thank you for listening, and thank you. May us all just shine more love towards each other. We are all in this together. We are not separate from each other. My heart, my dreams, my soul is no more precious than another being here, because we are all part of this infinite golden web. Thank you.